What's going on, y'all? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You know who it is. King Slugger Dugger back at you. Another one. Welcome to the Lethal Truth. Today I'm going to be talking about part two of Daniel Penny. I actually was going to talk about Dr. CB a couple of days ago. I got caught up into a meeting so I had to cancel things. But since then, we've been getting into the Daniel Penny. Now we got this Diddy thing that's going on, and I'm just like, God damn, man! Can black people get arrested? Like y'all on a roll out there. I don't care if they're broke, they're millionaires, they're billionaires. It's like it's black people killing season in the media for the past month. I don't hear too many of you white people going through under the ringer. What is it? The 23andMe? Y'all lost over what? uh 40 million people DNA. Nobody ain't saying nothing. I guess that's not important. What is the other dude that got caught up in the sex scandal? Y'all ain't talking about that. Y'all more focused on us. But I understand. So let me give me a minute with some more people get on. You know what I'm saying? Want y'all hear something real quick. Waiting for some more people to log on real quick. You know what I'm saying? And it's real interesting that everything is going on, you know, trying to something for y'all. I want y'all to see something. I want y'all to really hear um with what Abraham Lincoln had once said, pertaining to our, liberation, because at one point in time, Abraham Lincoln, when slavery was going on and they wanted to abolish it, he wanted to get rid of every black person in America from Africa that was in slavery. This was Abraham's Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, I Have a Dream speech. He had a white I Have a Dream speech, and they do not play it in schools for you to know. They do not play it anywhere for you to know, not even in TV, not in history channels when it's dealing with American history. They're not putting it out there for you because it's not indoctrinated for you, people of color. And what he tried to do was, after he liberated black people from slavery in 1865, he started to make he started to make trans how would I say it? He started to make transportation for every black person in America because he wanted to send them back to Africa, because he made a speech stating and saying that as long as people in America, that is people of color, you will not be equal to any white person in America ever under their system and rule. This is from Abraham Lincoln himself. How many years ago that was? And it's in history books that he actually had made ships. Trump was not the first one. He had actually put ships together and took black people and sent them back to Africa. Some knew where it was going, some had no clue where they was going, and they just wanted to leave because they wanted some sort of sense of freedom, because they knew they wasn't going to be have equal rights in America along with white people. They wasn't going to have that same privilege along with white people. So I want you to really hear something real quick. You know what I'm saying? And this is real interesting too, because like I said, this is something that they don't tell us about. They don't tell us about. I'm trying to find it for y'all. Just give me a minute. I'm still new at this here. It takes a little time. You know what I'm saying? So just bear with me. But when I heard this by Abraham Lincoln, I was kind of like floored. Actually, hearing it is one thing, but I actually read it a few years ago. Um, Here we go, right here. I heard about this a few years ago. So I want you to pay attention to this. All right. There we go. Now, this man here is, I believe his name is Leon Bennett. I believe he used to work for Jet Magazine and Ebony. He used to have a lot of like the Beauty of the Week or any sort of Black History or anything like that. He was working for Ebony and Jet Magazine. He was like once an editor. So listen what he got to say. Hold on. I don't think y'all see it. There you go.
Dream. What's that mean?
It means that, contrary to what most people think, Abraham Lincoln's deepest desire was to deport all Black people and create an all-white nation. It sounds like a wild idea now, and it is a wild idea, but from about 1852 until his death, he worked feverishly to try to create deportation plans, colonization plans, to send Black people either to Africa or to South America, or to the islands of the sea. He said these words in a State of the Union message on December the 1st, 1862, in which he asked Congress to pass 3 constitutional amendments. 1, to buy the slaves. 2nd, to declare free all people who had actually escaped. But the 3rd one, his proposed to deport Black people to. Almost everything I say in here, I take from Lincoln or from documents of the time.
Yeah, that's right.
It was not just something he wanted to push Black people out. He had an idea of this great giant vacuum sound, Black people leaving and white people from all over the world coming here and creating this all-white nation. As a matter of fact, I say, as you know, in his I Have a Dream speech,
and this is written
at Alton, Illinois, in 1858, he called for a haven, a white haven for free white people everywhere, the world over. Now, these are Lincoln's words. And the interesting thing about that is that he underlined these 4 words, free white people everywhere. He underlined them. This was his I Have a Dream speech. He was passionately committed to deporting Black people and creating a white nation. Let me say in extenuation, he believed that was the only way to solve the race problem. I found that offensive and strange, but he believed that was the only way to solve the race problem. He said over and over again, he did not believe that Black people and white people could live together in equality in the United States of America. That everything I'd been taught about Abraham Lincoln was a lie. Now, I imagine I was 10 or 11, somewhere there. Before then, apparently, I'd believed that this was the great emancipator. What happened actually when I was 10 or 11, and I ought to explain a piece of paper, anything I could find, I read. And so, for some strange reason, in Mississippi, in the 30s, I happened to see Abraham Lincoln's address at Charleston, Illinois, on September 18th, 1858.
The Lincoln-Douglas debate.
In the Lincoln-Douglas debate. And I read it, and I was just absolutely shocked. And from that point on, I started to researching, because I find it difficult to understand how people could say this man was the greatest apostle of brotherhood in the United States of America.
You say on page 114, not only is Lincoln a church, he is also an industry.
Precisely.
You hear that? So I want you to hear that. They say Abraham Lincoln is not just an indoctrination. He's an industry. He blew up the white secret that was to come for many generations for us to find out. I'm playing this because I want you to really grasp and understand why Black people and people of color still to this day has to always fight for civil rights. Till this day, you still see people like Daniel Penny get over on murdering us on the street. And you want to protest. You want to hold up signs. You instead of separating and doing for yourself, you ain't gonna never have equal rights. You ain't gonna never have the freedom that you looking for in America because this is indoctrinated. Abraham Lincoln said that himself. He said, "Listen, I'm making ships." Yes, he did this before Trump, but he actually did it. He made ships and put black people on the ships after slavery and sent them back to Africa. Some didn't even know where they was going. They said, "I don't care, let me go." And they went. How come you ain't learned that in school? Hmm? That's interesting. And he wrote it. And it's in the Library of Congress right now. That means that's a blueprint for all white people. And you have to follow this blueprint if you want to make it in America based on the complexion of your skin. You never had white privilege before? Some of you did. Black people don't. I'm going to tell you what white privilege is. Let me get perfect example. So the other day, one day, I was on the roof and I didn't feel like walking my dog. And so I felt like, I'm going to go upstairs on the roof and put my dog up there. And I was up there with both my dogs, actually. I had a Chorky, which is wild, and I had my Shih Tzu, but I had the Chorky up on the roof. So this white lady, she was coming on the roof, and she was like, "Hold on, I just want to walk my dog." I said, "Listen, my dog is very aggressive. He's act like he's a pit bull. He's off the leash. He can't be up here with you and my dog. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying?" Before I even continue, she said, "Oh, but don't worry about it," and opened the door and let her dog come in. Immediately, my dog went on attack. I cursed her ass out. I don't care about your skin complexion, but she was doing it because she was letting me know I can do what I want because of white privilege. You see, they come to the black community and they live in the black community. You think white people and black people are living together. No, they can't live where they're living. So now they come to your community to try to take it back over with all this reconstruction. How many of them say good morning to you in the morning? I rest my case. They don't live around you because they want to be around you. They live around you because they want to tolerate you. And they have to tolerate you in order to live around you. Like for those that's logging in, I'm told this is based on Daniel Penny, now Puff Daddy, and now Jay-Z. I'm gonna boil all of this together. Now let's look what I'm saying now. Look at where I'm going. I want you to hear something where you hear white children, not of my generation. I was born in the 70s. I'm talking about it in the generation of the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. Look what this guy said. I want you to listen to this. Okay. I want you to listen to this. Hopefully I can find it. Hopefully I can find it. It's oh man. Just give me a minute, please. It's pretty much based on this white dude. I think I didn't get a chance to save it. I was saving so many videos for the last couple of days. Man, this video it's really something, to be honest. All right, here we go. I want y'all to listen to this. Okay. Hold on, I'm coming. You hear that racism is spoon fed too. I want you to hear this. This is real good right here. Oh yeah, like damn, Slugger, what's going on? So just bear with me. I got a message. I ain't talking about no bullshit rap or none of that.
Would watch a movie, and
Okay.
if it had like a black lead, like a black actor who was the lead, they would change it, and I'd be like, "Why?" I was watching that. Well, we don't. Okay, I guess we don't do that. Any kind of positive outlook on anything besides white culture, it was frowned upon. I was made fun of for it. I was told I was a slur lover, like that kind of thing.
Around 8 to 10 or something?
Here's that racism is spoon fed to you. It's not like what you see in movies. It's not really shoved in your down your throat. It's slowly fed to you. But some bites are bigger than others. Sometimes you do get a big bite and you're like, oh, this is a lot to chew on. And you have a choice to spit it out or swallow it. And me, I was always half and half because I, wanted to trust my parents or parent at the time. So I thought, oh, they know best. They're the ones raising me, like that. I was a very logical child to a degree, but also very ignorant. But that was because I was being raised in ignorance.
Ain't this? So here it is. He said he was raised in ignorance. See, this day and time, racism is not really pushed out there. You see what he said? He said since he was like 10 or 12, it was spoon fed to him. So, in other words, he was probably hearing stuff like this: pull up your pants, don't act like niggas. They saw uncivilized. Look at them. And they may see something on the street. Look how niggas act. They're like animals. Look how they act on TV. Look how they treat their women. They always call each other niggas. They already call each other bitches. They are not like us. And then they show their children the white hype or the white supremacy of their American history, and they be proud of that. They be proud of bombing innocent people in Japan. They be proud of the slavery that built their country for them. And then they'll tell you something like, listen, that was back in the days. Don't sweat that. It's nothing changed. There's nothing changed. You understand? You see, this is why he said, no, my family, they bred this into me. He wasn't born like that. You're not born a racist. You have to be spoon-fed this. So he felt privileged. When you have this white skin, you be raised through a family like that. You understand what I'm saying? So when you get down to it, as time go on, you start to understand why during the Reconstruction era, blacks were still getting paid less than whites. You hear it today in Hollywood. Taraji P. Henson, how many of them say in Hollywood they get paid less than their white counterparts, but when they deal with us, like Tyler Perry, they get paid more than their entire career ever in history. That's why shout out to Tyler Perry. Y'all can say what y'all want. Yeah, the man dressed in women clothing. He do what he want. He has his faults like everybody else. But one thing I can say is that he's on point and he reach out to his people and he hired his people and he paid them more. He don't go into White Hollywood. He said it boldly. He said, listen, I don't go to White Hollywood and do anything. I do mine in my own studios. He don't ask them for not even distribution, which I know he doing distribution, but he lets it be known that I'm not kissing their ass, and he has to be very careful of saying that. He has to be very careful of saying that, because when you start talking that you want to start making movies for your own and distributing for your own, you become the enemy of a white system. You see, you become an enemy. I'm gonna let you hear it from the man himself. It's a speech that Dr. Martin Luther King had made. It was called the Mountaintop Speech. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to play that speech because it's a little bit long. But based on that speech, it was after the I Have a Dream speech. The school system, they don't want you hearing this speech, because if you hear the speech, you're gonna love black people too much. See, around that time, Martin Luther King, he started to sit down and have a conversation with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the man who taught Malcolm X. The same words that was flowing out of Malcolm X was coming from that guy. And he started to talk to King. They have a picture together, right? And they talk for 4 hours. And man, it scared white people to death. And I'm not just talking about all white people, okay? I'm talking about those that are in power and those that want to manipulate poor white people who aren't racist to keep us at bay, or white people that are racist to keep us at bay. Now, I want you to hear this man, right? His name is, hold on. I want you to hear this, because this is real good from hearing this man, and I want you to hear it from him himself. This is Dr. Martin Luther King. I don't want to say it myself. I want you to hear it yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is real interesting. Remember when,
with the power of economic.
Remember when Malcolm X was saying separate and get a land and do for self? And what happens when you do stuff like that is you kind of what's the word I'm looking for? You kind of separate an economic system. You see what I'm saying? Because if I know you're ignorant to a certain economic system, I produce economic war. Since you don't understand the law of business and the law of nature, I'm going to play on your ignorance to keep my people strong. Now, once I find someone like Jesus want to come out of nowhere and all of a sudden want to start talking a different language, you become a threat to my system. Listen to King. Listen what he got to say. This is very interesting. Oh, shit.
Now, if you are not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow.
You know, we have an agenda.
And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you.
We ain't talking about the bus boycott no more. We get to Puffy them in a minute.
And so as a result of this, we're asking you tonight to go out and tell your neighbors not to buy Coca-Cola in Memphis. Go by and tell them not to buy Seal Test milk. Tell them not to buy what is all the bread, Wonder Bread. And what is other bread come to Jesse? Tell them not to buy Hart's bread. As Jesse Jackson has said, up to now, only the garbage men have been feeling pain. Now we must kind of redistribute the pain.
Now we got to redistribute the pain. This is called economic warfare.
We are choosing these companies because they have been fair in their hiring policies, and we are choosing them because they can begin the process of saying they are going to support the needs and the rights of these men who are on strike. And then they can move on downtown and tell Mayor Loeb to do what is right.
This is King declaring economic warfare. You'll see why they killed him.
Black institutions. I call upon you to take your money out of the banks downtown and deposit your money in Tri-State Bank.
Look who owned the Tri-State Bank. Look what they're doing for black people. That's what I want you to hear.
We want a bank-in movement in Memphis. Go by the Savings and Loan Association. I'm not asking you something that we don't do ourselves in SCLC. Judge Hooks and others will tell you that we have an account here in the Savings and Loan Association from the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. We are telling you to follow what we are doing. Put your money there.
Put your money there.
You have 6 or 7 black insurance companies here in the city of Memphis. Take out your insurance there. We want to have an insurance in. Now, these are some practical things that we can do. We begin the process of building a great economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. I ask you to follow through here. Now let me say, as I move to my conclusion, that we've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. Nothing would be more tragic than to stop at this point in Memphis. We got to see it through.
Now, there's a longer speech in that. That's part of the mountaintop speech. I told you it's kind of long. And during the ending of that speech, King called all the top business owners that helped with the civil rights movement to come back to their community, because once segregation was over, they wanted to go in the white neighborhoods and Beverly Hills and make it seem like they was doing better than other people, because it was a place that was taboo for them. So you moved over there and it made it seem like you was moving on up. But King knew that you moving in that community, you was taking the money from your community and putting it in their community. You understand what I'm saying? So economic warfare was happening while everybody was just marching. They didn't see the big problem that was coming. Like most of us, we don't know nothing about business, so we don't know about economic warfare. They never taught us about economics. They just told us to work for them. You see what I'm saying? So when they saw that, and they saw King was trying to build a world for black people and people of color non-violently without being racism, they said that nigga have to go. And they killed him. Based on economic, see, when you start talking about love white people and turn your face and you get slapped on this face, and then you turn that face and you get slapped on that face, it's all right. But when you take a stand and you start wanting to protect yourself in a defense manner to protect your nation, your family, and your people, you're an enemy. You understand what I'm saying? When you want to protect your nation economic-wise from your oppressor, you become the enemy. Now, what does that have to do with Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z? What does that has to do with them? I know you're saying, well, yeah, Slugger, why are you going there? You know what's so strange? Years ago, a lot of y'all that's talking in the media now about this Diddy stuff and everything. What I found so interesting years ago in the late 90s, there was a meeting between 3 moguls of a rap label. You had Jay Prince, you had Suge Knight, and you had Irv Gotti. And they had a meeting talking about making sure all the artists get their masters, their publishing. They was trying to set up something where they was trying to build their own distribution company for all the record labels that was producing hip hop. So they was removing the white man from eating off of our economic structure. So after the meeting, Irv Gotti, which I had no clue why did he do this, he decided to go into these rap magazines And he started to tell people in the media and the enemy outside in the media who's looking at them, what were their plans? So they said, wait a minute, the niggas is going to write us out of music? What happened? Who was the first one to get arrested? Suge Knight. This happened less than 90 days. Suge Knight got arrested for murder, which I know he got caught on camera, but they was going to get him for something else eventually, because at first they got him, 9 years for some probation violation. Who gets 9 years for probation violation? 9? For 9 years? They wanted him off the streets. Then they went and got Jay Prince. That's what it's Jay Prince from Rap-A-Lot Records. They went and got him and put him under a federal indictment at the same time as Suge Knight. And guess who else? Irv Gotti, because he went down with the Supreme Team. And they had him under indictment. For what? He didn't even sell no drugs or no murder. But they say they was in cahoots with the Supreme Team. So Irv Gotti had to separate his case because they was trying to make a case on him about nothing. But they didn't have a case against him. What they wanted to do was slow ball him from his plans. Now, what happened to that dream? Gone. See, you can always be the house nigga. I won't even say a house nigga because some of us don't even know that we are that when we're in that world. Because when you're in the entertainment world and you're making millions, there's different levels to this money. Okay? There's different levels. When you're on the playing field and you just want to dance and sing, you have to answer somebody. They sign a record deal for you, whatever the case may be. Then after you make all that money, you say to yourself, I want to own a record label. Now you on a different level. You ain't a manager. You ain't an artist. Now you a business owner. See, it's a different level. Now your circle has changed. Now you rubbing shoulders with CEOs, baby. Now when you're around these CEOs, guess what? They telling you, listen, that's the guy that owns the distribution. They pointing to all white people. Hey, you want a record label? That's the parent company. Universal is owned by white people. Yeah, you got to do that. See, they will allow you to work for them to boost up their careers or their portfolio or their money as long as you walk in the line. As long as you walk in the line they want you to walk in. It's all right. You can do that. They know about sex parties because they have them. You don't believe me? How many of y'all saw Spartacus? How many of y'all saw all these Roman movies and Greek movies? How many times you saw orgies at the dinner table? They always had music playing, somebody playing the flute, and people are having sex and they all naked. That's a freak off. That's a LS party. That's a swingers party. Thank you, Monica. Thank you. That's a sex party. Hugh Hefner did it. I'm going to say it again. Hugh Hefner did it. He revolutionized it in America. He's on front of the Forbes magazine. No, excuse me, I'm lying. He's in front of the People's magazine. He was in movies, Beverly Hills Cop 3. Actually, they did a scene in his Playboy mansion where all his hoes is at. Because that's what, I call them that, not to be disrespectful, but that was his lane. He had women, and they were about early 20s while he was in his 80s. Ugh. Can you imagine that? While you was doing this, they weren't even born. But now you got these young girls that's probably 21, 25, and you dictate to them, listen, I'm going to take care of you, and I'm going to pay you this. This is my rules. I want you to wear blonde hair. That's why they all have blonde hair. I want you to wear this particular cream, and you put it on twice a day. And I want you to wear this. That's why when you saw them, they had the same hair, they dressed the same, they looked the same, because those were his requirements. He had mansions with tunnels going into different celebrity houses. He was selling pussy, baby. But it was okay because he was a white man. But this is not old news because they was doing free course in slavery. This ain't new. But you think it's new. You put it out there and think it's new because you see Puffy, 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 Puffy. And you think Puffy wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Puffy's innocent. The only thing I could see Puffy's guilty of was that Sean situation, stealing people masters and publishing rights. I could say that was wrong, but that is not new because we saw the Temptation movie, we saw the Five Heartbeats movie, we saw TLC movie. Come on now, let's stop acting like this is new. This didn't start with Puff. As a matter of fact, you know who revolutionized the fact that you can get your own publishing rights, and it wasn't even a white man. It was James Brown. He was the first one that stood up to him. And when he did, of course, they called him all types of cokeheads and all he liked is white girls. And remember all the propaganda machine, because that's what they do. If you don't bow down, the first thing they do is propaganda. They make up lies in the media, some truth, some lies. That's what Satan do. He makes truth for lies. You don't know what to believe. All you hear is a bunch of hearsay. So when that propaganda machine starts, they want to see if your people pull away from you and the people that support you pull away from you. If that don't work, then they could put you in jail. And if that don't work, like they did Dr. King when they put him in jail, then they'll kill you because that's the last straw. So they came after Puffy. Why they come after Puffy? Everybody know Puffy was throwing these parties. This is not new. I own a swinger club. In this lifestyle, I don't do it, but a lot of other people do this. When you go to these parties, they have NDAs. You cannot go on social media talking about your sex escapade. You can't even mention the name of the club on social media. There are no phones. If you get caught with your phone, you could get thrown out. In some parties, they collect your phones. But see, you don't know this because you're vanilla, which means you're not in that lifestyle, sexual lifestyle. So you wouldn't know this. So in your head, you're like, oh, he trying to hide something. Yeah, he just don't want your ass being shown on social media. That's all it is. Now, why they come at Puff? Why they come at Puff? I know y'all like, yeah, Slugger. You gotta tell me why they come at Puff. I'm gonna tell you why they really came at Puff. You know, when you get to a certain level in life by doing questionable things that you know is wrong, because we all know Puff did some wrong. You ain't gonna get to be a millionaire and billionaire by doing perfect, because the Bible said that God, when he comes and he sends his prophets, the prophets and God never come to rich people. I'm gonna say that again. In the Bible, the Quran or the Torah, which I read all three, God and the prophets never ever came to rich people. It was always the poor and oppressed. Why? Because the rich has to stay rich by oppressing them. That's the only way they're gonna stay rich. You see what I'm saying? All right. So now when you get to this area in life like Puff, your, what I would say your wickedness. What I would say, no, I would say some of your wickedness will go but so much far. Go but so much far. Thank you, boss lady. It goes but so much far, okay? And what happens is you pull back because Puffy's really not an evil person. Yeah, he has some questionable things going on with him, just like me, just like you, because we live in a country that breeds this type of thinking all day. You understand what I'm saying? So once you get to that level and you see that there's a system that's trying to keep you as a house nigga and make them rich and then keep your people down. When you see that, you say, you know what? It's time for me to pull out, because you start to see this questionable thing that's going on and you ain't going to be feeling it. Now, they know when you about to start changing because they listen to your interviews. They listen to what you're saying. And they look, when they see it, they say to themselves, they go, you know what? You know what? We gotta watch this nigga because he's getting out of hand. He's doing too much. You understand what I'm saying? And we're not feeling it because his language is starting to change. The ways that his tongue is starting to change. He's not talking about take that, and he's not flamboyant, bling bling. He's not poisoning the minds of his people. He's trying to do something. It seems like he's trying to liberate his people. Now look at Puff. Now look what Puff said. Look when his language started to change. I want you to very pay attention to this. Please listen to what he says. Am I playing? Do y'all see it? Oh no, y'all don't see it. Hold on, y'all. I'm coming. I want y'all to listen to Puffy, and I really want you to hear what he got to say because what he's saying is very deep. Um, I'm getting there with y'all. Please give me a second. I gotta get me a new laptop. That's what. I gotta get a new laptop, man. I really want y'all to hear this. Okay.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous.
I'll be
This
right
man
back, y'all.
literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Yeah.
We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We're taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election. The tribe of people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death of this man is white people.
Explain.
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war, but it would also be irresponsible of me to just let this moment go by. The world is watching and not do everything I can to make sure that going forth that we're a part of the narrative, that we own our politics. And so I'm launching one of the boldest movements that I've ever launched. And it's called Our Black Party.
Okay.
It's time for us to have our own Black political party, unapologetically. Because right now, if you look at the debates, we're not even a part of the conversation.
Not at all.
We're not a part of the conversation. We don't have any political power. We don't have any political leverage. And so we started Our Black Party with some young, fearless Black activists, elected officials, and I've stepped up and put the money behind it. This is the biggest threat and the only option that we have right now as far as making a change, taking our own self-responsibility and accountability to be educated and empowered with our vote.
So what's the goal for our Black Party?
Our Black Party's number one goal is to unify behind a Black agenda. That's it. You could be a part of the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, you could be an independent, but if you're Black, you wasn't born Republican, you wasn't born Democrat, you wasn't born independent, you was born Black. And And we have to seize our political power, because it'll just be more of the same, being pushed this way, being pushed that way, and we expecting
Different result.
a different result. But the definition of insanity is like doing the same thing over and over the same way, expecting a different result, and it's not going to happen. So we have to change the tone. We got to start with us stepping up and really taking the responsibility and accountability to be a part of this political movement.
The hardest part of that is going to be getting other black people to buy into it.
This is not for all black people. You know what I'm saying? This is not for the scary ones. This is for the ones that want to move things forward and want to get to the smoke. A black person spends an average of like 5 hours on Instagram a day. If you could give Instagram that time, 15 minutes you could give to educating yourself. And our Black Party's that platform. So when we get down to the local elections, when we get down to the school board, we get down to the judges and the justices, this is another level of gangster. But I played this game before, you know? I started in 2004 with Vote or Die, and this is the evolution of that thought, of that empowerment, of that independence, of us taking self-accountability, so we're not caught, as we're not ready to really take this on.
Hold up, let me ask you, what's the difference between Vote or Die, Diddy?
Thought of that empowerment, of that independence, of us taking self-accountability, so we're not caught.
Now, we hold on. There you go. Now, I don't get to play too much of it. But now, so you hear Diddy talking about he's getting a whole political party, right? He said we did the Democratic thing. I said, nah, that ain't working for us. Because it really doesn't matter. Because you got the Republicans and you got the Democrats. Both of them is devils. Both of them ain't good for us. And he knows that because he's on that level, because his money changed. See, we don't know. We ignorant. We see what's on the news and we just go with what we listen to. But he's in a circle because he's a millionaire. He's a billionaire. And that draws politicians because they're a bunch of liars and thieves. They want money. They got to finance their tour and they got to get black people. So they try to get the leaders of the black community, right? And as a person like Puff, who has money and who's strong and who wants to be in the politics, he feels it's a way to get some pull, to get some power. So it's like one hand wash the other. But then he starts to see, nah, y'all not for my people. Y'all just want to eat off my people. He want to start his own black political party. What happened to the Black Caucus? What happened to the Black Caucus? See, they've been in the political world, and most of them is Boule, which is a secret society like LeBron James, who has it tatted on his chest. That's a university thing. That's a frat thing. These Boules who become Black Caucus talk and act like they're for the people. But what they are, they're gatekeepers for their former slave masters. So they say, black people, we're going to talk to them from, and you like, yeah, our people going to talk. And no. Why you think last time Trump was in office, he ain't even meet them? He took a picture with them and said, get the hell out of here. I ain't with you. Because he already know they full of crap. You just don't know it. We just don't know it because we're not taught about political parties. We're not taught about politics. We're just taught about a bunch of lies. You understand? But I don't want to get too far off into the political thing. I want to stick back onto where I'm at. And we're talking about Puffy. And we're going to talk about Jay-Z. And we're going to talk about everybody else, all types of black millionaires and billionaires that has this type of power. So they was already mad with Puff. They said, hold on, now you talking about going against the grain? Nigga, we made you. You were just a dancer acting like you was down with Uptown Records. No, we signed you to be A&R and play your position. But we see that you can make us money. So guys like Clive Davis, who was responsible for Whitney Houston and a lot of others, I won't say demise, but fortune. He told Puff, hey, I got a friend that can help us out and we can start Bad Boy for you. We're talking about in the beginning of the Biggie era. Say, what? Yeah, I'm down with that. Don't worry, we're going to give you 50 million. Not 50 million in cash and on your bank account for your own personal. We're going to give it to you under the Bad Boy label where you have a distribution deal with other white Jewish people who can see your contracts and make sure you're not doing any funny thing with our goddamn money. And he go, yes, sir. And as long as you was dancing and he was making money and he was robbing people and he was making them money, it was all good. It was all good for 20, 30 years. It was all good. But as soon as he wanted to act like a free, independent black man with an independent black thought, oh, nah, nigga, you playing yourself. That's what they were saying. You playing yourself. And they came after him. You know, this remind me of when all the clothing lines started, like Sean John, FUBU, and all of that, Baby Fat, Fat Farm, and they asked Tommy Hilfiger, how did Polo and all of y'all felt it? And they felt away. He said they called the secret meeting. And they said that we have to figure out how we could get back on top. White supremacy. What happened? Where's FUBU? Anybody seen Fat Farm around? Baby Fat? What about Sean John? There's no way around. Somebody bought them all out and shelved their goddamn clothes. Now you back to European clothing. You see how that works? But look, let me show you something. Let me show you what actually nailed it in the coffin for Puffy. Okay? This is real deep. I was just like kind of surprised, actually, you know what I'm saying, when this took place, because I actually didn't know what possessed Puff to do this. I wouldn't have done it, to be honest with you, because it's a declare of war. Okay, it's a declare of war. Give me a sec. I'm trying to get this up for y'all. Oh man. Okay, here we go. Get this up for y'all because I want y'all to hear what Puffy had to say. Pertain. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Just give me a second. This thing's kind of difficult here. So anyway, Puffy was given an interview about his deal with Diego, this liquor company. And because it was all right, they didn't get, well, when Puff didn't get what he wanted, yeah, I'm trying to find it for y'all. I'm almost there. I'm trying to get it on the screen. Oh, God. Like, come on, Slugger. Let's go, Slugger. I'm coming. Because I really want y'all to hear what Puff was saying when it came to this liquor company. Because they not really playing it. You know, a lot of people, they actually speak on it, but they're actually not talking. They're not actually letting you hear Puff words. They just talking about it and they say, oh, because he tried to deal. There's a whole lot more to it with that. I'm taking my time. Yeah, I'm taking my time. It's just that, like I say, you know, I'm still new at this, and I got to get me another goddamn laptop. You know what I'm saying? I get another laptop. But I ain't going to let the truth deter me. I'm going to keep speaking on the truth. I'm going to keep putting it out there because that's what this is about. It's about the truth. I'm trying to figure out why is it not playing. Okay, thank you. Still here with me. Thank you. Thank you. I'll tell you what, hold on. Give me a second. Let me get, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this over and get it back on the screen because I really want y'all to hear it because you know what I'm saying? It's really important. Like I said, everybody talks about the deal with Diego and Puffy, but you really never heard what Puffy said. We always hear what other people say. You don't even hear what the enemy is saying. Enemy of Puff, the people that's trying to take him down. Y'all don't hear what he's saying, right? Y'all hear what other people are saying about this deal, but not actually. And it's very interesting to hear this deal because it reminds me of the deal with all the clothing lines where everybody had this distribution. It was okay when you're making money for them and making all these millions and billions off their clothing line. But once you start to saying that you want to be independent, you're gonna have a problem. Uh, yeah. Oh, so the first. So yeah. Hold up. It's coming up. Damn. So Pharrell, I was just finding out that Pharrell from the Neptunes was actually the first one to actually sue Diageo and got millions off of it. But you ain't hear from Pharrell anymore. You don't hear from the Neptunes anymore. He's definitely gone. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. I'm trying to get this up for you because I really like to let people hear it instead of me just saying it because that's all we hear nowadays is propaganda. Propaganda. We don't add it with the hey, here we go. Here we go.
Diageo situation. Right? Was the actual first one to sue Diageo. Deleon, I never even heard of stuff owned by a black man and all that. So a lot of people was confused when the lawsuit came about. You shared some talk about that because I think it's a very interesting case study for entrepreneurs to understand.
Definitely. The situation's in the courts now, so I'm gonna share with y'all what I can. This is all public record. But basically, I was called to have a meeting with Diageo, and they knew that I was kind of killing things in the culture, and they were trying to fix their diversity problem. And through that, a meeting was set up, and I told them, you know, I want to be an owner, that I have these ideas from promoting parties at Howard, just remembering just to have black-owned brands owned by black people behind the bar and a part of your organization. They're the biggest distributor of spirits in the world, biggest maker of spirits in the world. So we get a test project. I'm looking at their portfolio, and I remember one night I was having having just such the greatest time. And so the light bulb went off in my head. I said, I don't want to wait and develop nothing. Let me show you what I could do with Ciroc. Let me show you how I could turn your revenue around. They were losing $40 million a year. And I went and turned it around and took it to 2.6 million cases from 40,000 cases. Okay, and so this is something that's never been done.
Clap it up for that.
Never been done.
So 15 years later, even though I had that success, I was always fighting for Ciroc not to be pigeonholed, not to be pigeonholed as a black brand, not to be pigeonholed as an urban brand. I already went through that. I went through that with Sean John. They put me in an urban section. I had to go and disrupt the fashion industry, pull up on Fashion Week, and show them what that black excellence swag is about. And that's what we did with Sean John. And so with Ciroc, it was the same thing. Get into the spirits industry. No matter what, they just wanted to keep me in the colored section. I would say for businesses, you have white-only business, just like you have white-only bathrooms back in the days, and you have black-only business.
Yeah.
And so my fight is to always make sure that we could just do business. I want to be treated equally like anybody else. And so that's what the fight is about. And it's not me just fighting for me. I'm fighting for us. Because whatever bar I set, y'all have to come behind me.
You got to come
on
behind
that
them.
bar, and I want to make sure that it's right.
So
That's
they don't
what the
want
fight
that.
is about, simply put. And the last things to make it clear was with Deleon. I still own Deleon, okay? So with Deleon,
talk about the process of getting Deleon, right? Because it was you
Okay.
proved yourself with Ciroc, and so now there's an opportunity to create something else.
with a lot of, first of all, corporate America, when you're going into corporate America, usually your entryway is to help them with their diversity problem. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to open up doors. Sometimes you got to take that opportunity and get in. And so that's what I did with Ciroc. But I told them I don't work for nobody. Everything in my portfolio I own. So you guys have to know my ultimate dream is a tequila. But I was like, I really love tequila. This is before the whole tequila craze.
Man.
So it's like you make a deal. You make a deal like, I'm going to advance this for you so then we could be good partners and you could give me what I want, which is my opportunity for me to own my brand and to be able to build generational wealth for my kids and my people. And I just need a portfolio. And I couldn't get that. I had to send my people down to Mexico. And this is just to tell you what the fight is about. They went down to Mexico, and when they got down there, they found out that there was 0 agave planted for Deleon. So there was no plan for us to be successful. It was no equal treatment. The other brands, they had agave planted. They had no agave planted for me. And sometimes I was like, nah, I'm gonna fight because it's bigger than me. It's about not just me, it's about we, it's about all of us. So I chose my purpose on profit. And that's the whole Deleon situation.
Yeah, you brought up distribution. Yeah, clap it up for that. Distribution, and you come from the music world, and so distribution is a.
Hold on, I need to say this. I need y'all to still support Deleon. You know, we gonna win this.
Black man. You come from the music world where distribution means one thing. For some of the audience who may not be familiar, I'm sure they could consume spirits, but they don't really know what it means to have distribution inside of that space. What does that look like when you're building a brand like Deleon and Ciroc?
Yeah, supply and distribution is everything. Whether you came from the streets, we all know that. We learned that at a very young age. And so no matter how I market a product, if they just keep me in Black neighborhoods through the distribution, I can never grow. I can never be as great as I could be or as great as we can be. You know what I'm saying? I had to go from me to we. And so when I started really looking at every decision I was making, I was like, that this is something that I have to change. I can't just come and get this check and not be changing the way the ecosystem is. So
that's very interesting what he said. You got to have the supply in order to meet the demand. You hear that? So this goes to show you his language was changing. You see what he's saying? He said, yeah, it was all about the money. For about a week ago, he was good because he didn't have it. But once he got the money, he got the houses, he had all the women, he had the parties, he had everything that he strived for. Now he's looking at a bigger picture. He's like, okay, cool, but y'all pigeonholing me. What's going on? And now you start to see the racism. You know, 50 Cent said this same thing that I'm saying. And if you remember, 50 Cent was coming. He was coming at Diddy. He was talking about making documentaries, and the media was running with it, right? They was like, yeah, Black people fighting each other. And then he started to do the knowledge. He saw what I'm talking about. Why did he see it? Because 50 also did an interview that said he had invested in a liquor company. And I never knew this, but he did an interview on that. Matter of fact, on that same stage, he said, yeah, they came after him because of this lawsuit. He won $1 billion off a company that supplies 180 companies liquor. That's a very strong goddamn company. You understand what I'm saying? And 50 said, it's okay when we making the money. When we make the money and they put our face on it, it's all right. But it becomes a problem when you start talking ownership. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to put Jay-Z on the ace of spade. It's okay to market him and say, yo, Jay-Z got the Barclays Center. And we ignorant to business thinking Jay-Z owns the Barclays Center. No, he just owns stocks. His former slave masters just put him on the front street for the rest of the former slaves to be attracted to this so they could come running to the Barclay to put money in their hands. And once he got the money that he wanted, Jay-Z sold his shares because he already knew the game. They're not going to try to let him own nothing by himself. You understand? When you start talking like that, they're going to come after you. And obviously, he must have been whispering it to somebody because his name is coming up in shit now. I'm talking about 13 years ago. Come on, man. Didn't they say that about Bill Cosby? Ding, 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 ding. He wanted to get NBC, not once, but twice. The first time, he came out with a sexual case, okay? It came out, it was in 2006, I believe. And he fell back from the NBC purchasing it, especially the damn Barclays Center. That's right, especially the Barclays Center. But look, Bill Cosby, when he fell back from the NBC, the 2006 case went away. You ain't hear nothing else. They say, oh, yes, he was lying. That was the warning because they kind of like the fella. He been making the money since the mid-60s. Mid-60s, Bill Cosby been on TV. We talking about since the civil rights movement, when King was alive, Martin, all of that. He was on TV, okay? So they looked at him as a friend. But when he started to go on tour and try to clean up black people by putting the mirror in their face, white people had a problem. They said, now you're trying to clean up these black people to make them look respectable. And now you want to take the most powerful network, television network in America, NBC. Well, in New York City. Well, you say in America, NBC. And they knew he was going to change the face of NBC because you see how he changed the family ties when it comes to TV, when it comes to family. They hate the Bill Cosby Show. They hate that, and they hate the Good Times. Because Bill Cosby Show, he taught you how to be a father, and the wife taught you how to be a mother. The children taught you how to be in a children's place, and he just taught you about being united as a family. That was a goddamn problem. So they came at him with another sexual case, right? And Trump was in office when he was found guilty. Now, Trump put his people as the prosecutor. Look at the science now. You had all these people from the 60s saying, he drugged me with herbal pills. I don't know how you get drunk and stimulated and drugged up by herbal pills. But okay, that's what they say. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But then you had people coming from the 60s that was like 80 years old trying to make a lawsuit case. What are you doing? But remember I said, propaganda. Before they kill you, they have to use propaganda because they have to take your support away. And that's what they did to Bill Cosby. Nobody wants to be around him. Nobody wants to talk about Puff. And they would know he was going to get around it. So what they said was, listen, if you plead guilty in the civil case, Bill Cosby, and said that you drugged this person and molested him, that the case, your testimony won't be used in a criminal case because, see, his lawsuit case was costing him more than $20 million. So they said it's easy for you to just settle out. So he said, okay, I'll go settle out and I'll plead guilty and say whatever you want to say. they do that in a criminal case. When you cop out, even though you didn't do it, you have to say, yes, I did this, and yes, I did that. Some of you are ignorant to these court systems, so you don't know nothing. You just go by what you hear. You understand? So now, when it was time for him to start his criminal trial, they took his statements from the civil case and used it against him. That's how he was found guilty. And then, after Trump people got in office and the lawyers started to appeal, they said, oh yeah, we're going to give him a reversal because we realized his rights was violated. They knew that all along. They were just trying to pump his goddamn brakes. And they let Bill Cosby go after 7 years. Yeah, he gonna get a lawsuit. He gonna get all that money back, but you took 7 years of this man's life. And some of you house Negroes out there was rooting for him. Yeah, he needed to be in jail. You don't know what the hell you talking about. He was trying to make a difference for you and me. Puffy is trying to make a difference between you and me. Don't get me wrong. Puffy is not an angel. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's showing you a path that if any of our leaders take, this is what's going to happen. Okay, brother, truth is coming out. Preach. Yes, I'm preaching, man. This is another side of me. A lot of people, they don't see this side of me because it's hard to talk this type of knowledge to people when I'm at a party or they drinking or, on the phone. Everybody want to talk about different things, you know what I mean? But this part of me, this side of me, this is a big part of me. So now they're coming after Jay-Z. Why are they coming after Jay-Z? Oh, he was at a party with a 13-year-old. Who? Where? You got pictures? You got the sex scene? And stop saying y'all got videos of this freak off, but y'all got no videos of nothing. All right? Because if you did, the feds would already been charging him with rape cases from the tapes. But they dismissed 23 of those flash drives that they had. They got 93 of the videos. They dismissed 23 that the prosecutors wanted to use. Why? Because there was nothing on there. Why would something be on there if you sign an NDA? Now, a lot of people speculating, saying Diddy got politicians and all that in his pocket. And really? Let me ask you something. When Epstein was arrested, who really had a lot of politicians in his pocket, you see him in the media with his family going to see them? Because they was planning his death already, baby. That's how this goes. That's how this goes. They already made a documentary saying that they don't even believe he killed himself by the way he hung himself and everything. It just don't add up. That's what people do. And when he died, the list came out. You had what's his name? Not Jay Leno. I forgot that white dude name, man. He come out at night. But anyway, he was saying, "Oh, that's not me." Ellen DeGeneres was in it. She was like, "No, not me. I don't know. I'm gay." And so what? I own a swinger club. Gay people come there all the time. I'm talking about females. Bisexual and lesbians come to swinger parties all the time, Ellen. Stop lying to people who don't have the knowledge of this business. But this is why they coming at Puffy. So they're using all these accusations, such as lawsuits, to deter y'all from the real issue of what he was trying to do. He was fighting for us, man. Like I said, when you get up there with money and them riches, you can go bust so far selling your people out. I ain't gonna lie. I'd probably be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I'm getting this paper. But once I get to a certain level and I see that you're trying to destroy my people, ain't that much money in the world gonna hold me back. Because eventually you're gonna snap out of your bullshit and be like, you know what? I made a lot of money. I don't like what y'all doing. I'm taking this to the forefront. And he was right. They was trying to make Ciroc as an urban brand. Because most of the time they was being promoted, it was being promoted to the urban community. It wasn't being promoted worldwide. So he went at them. Jay-Z, he probably saying some things. And he got to be very careful. Jay-Z got to be very careful. You know why I say that? The enemy, they watch what you say and they watch what you do. And the things that Jay-Z be saying in his raps, like What's Free with Rick Ross, When he took him out when slavery, all they gave was pig intestines and all of this, how he was trying to uplift his people. You gotta listen to what he's saying. That's very dangerous, man. He can't be talking like that. They don't know. They probably giving him a warning, like, listen, you see what we did to Puffy? We'll come after you next. Play your position. Because they have a circle. You see what I'm saying? And when you have a circle, you start to speak certain things in your circle. Y'all start to have the same conversations. And millionaires and billionaires, when they have a conversation, they always talk money because that's what they're around all day. They're not going to talk business with someone who's giving out parking tickets. So when millionaires and billionaires come there, they talking about evolution. They talking about economics and what Diddy and all these other people that I mentioned, Bill Cosby, that is economic warfare to a system. And what did I say what Abraham Lincoln said? He said, as long as black people is in America, you will never, ever, ever be equal. Now, I'm not saying to white people out there that's probably looking at this, this is not racism. This is actual true. Everything I say, it's pretty much in your face. But the people that I'm talking about don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? They consider you a waste of skin color. You ever heard that saying? Because here it is, they took a country over. They made everything beneficial for them. So how is it that your family didn't come up in the millionaire racket during slavery, like the J.P. Morgans and the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and so forth, and all these Jewish people who actually really controlled slavery throughout the world? I'm going to say that again. For the Jewish community, those people who controlled slavery throughout the world. So if you haven't made it successful and you haven't been passing down your riches as from generations from that time, then they consider you white trash. So what they do is they use skin color in the media to make you feel better than us. So when things get out of line or when we cross the line or we don't be in our place, they use you, such as the Nazis and the KKK, to put us back in our position. You understand? So they could be in the woodworks and they don't have to come out and do the dirty work. They got you doing it. So now we at odds. And that, but you know, things is taking a little turn because you got a lot of white people with that mindset is dying off slowly. That's why you got people like Eminem and what's this, Machine Gun Kelly and all these people who want to rap and sing R&B like they're black. Not saying they're trying to be black, but they've been raised in a country around black people. We influence everything in culture, so you have no choice but to emulate us one way or another. Whether it's clothing, put it like whether it's fashion, music, movies, whatever. You're going to mimic us. And it's crazy, black people. I want to say this. This is real funny. How is it everybody in the world is following us in our craziness? I saw the other day, I was watching something that was in Thailand. They had a battle rap. I watched battle rap. And it came up on YouTube. I said, what the hell? Battle rap in Thailand? And they was like, ka-ka-ka. I was bugging. Because I was like, yo, I don't know what they saying, but you could feel their energy. You see what I'm saying? So I can understand why white people feel this way. You know what I mean? So this is why they coming at Puff. You know what I mean? They're going to come out with 100 accusations and lawsuits. You know how many lawsuits they done dismissed? They dismissed over 20-something lawsuits of Puff. How come you ain't hear about that? I'll wait. How come you ain't hear about that? But you keep hearing about these new lawsuits. Oh, what's the new one now? Oh, Puff was in a party with a 13-year-old. I'm not trying to be the Puff fan because I am not. But I know bullshit when I hear it. Okay. She's in the video with Puff. Puff said, you want to go to that party? And he like, ha, and he walked off. She's at a party fully clothed with 1,000 people in there. Let me tell you something about pedophiles, right? I don't know where y'all been at, where y'all was raised at. But being in prison and being on the streets, pedophiles don't come out and let people know they're pedophiles openly. Okay? They don't do that. And If you at a party, if you're a pedophile, you may know other pedophiles, but the whole damn party is not pedophiles. Okay, people at that party gonna wake up and flip on Puff if a 13-year-old girl coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning naked. That's not gonna happen. I don't care what you're trying to tell me. That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna let me believe propaganda just to make me hate a man, especially when white people done revolutionized that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the big thing in America. You got sex trafficking going on. You should concentrate on that. You concentrating on Puff. I want to show you something. I know he he going back to those videos. Nah, I just want to show you something real quick. I don't know if you know about this this white lady. What's her name? I'm trying to think of her name. Shoot. Excuse me, her name. Shoot. I'm trying to think. Jane Elliott. Have y'all ever heard of Jane Elliott? I'm gonna let you hear something from her. She's very interesting. Jane Elliott. You know what I'm saying? She's very knowledgeable. A lot of white people don't like her. She's the type of person. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm gonna get it up for y'all in a second. This lady, yo, when I say she goes in, she goes in. No, you really gotta hear. And the reason why I'm gonna fight to get this up is because I want you to see how all white people, every last one of them, knows what's going on with us and won't say nothing. Every one of them. And I'm gonna get it up for you. And when she asked a certain question, I was kind of shocked because the way the expression was, it kind of like floored me because I was like, wow, I'm surprised that nobody raised their hand. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. I'm getting it up for y'all. Y'all got any questions or anything, let me know. Ask me any questions. I'll answer it. Trying to get this up for y'all. I don't think it is, but anyway, all right. So, I think this is it right here. Okay, y'all don't see it. All right. So anyway, she was asking, she said, look, she said, any white person that's going through, any white person in here or went to trade places with black people, please raise your hand. Not one white person raised their hand. She said, I'm going to repeat it. And she did. And she said, raise your hand. Nobody raised their hand. She said, that lets me know that each and every one of you already know what's going on with black people. So see, when we start protesting and everything like that, they already know why. And then you got those that want to criticize us in social media, like this dude, Daniel Penny. Right? And I'm getting to him. So let's get right into him. Excuse me. Let's get right into him. So this guy, Daniel Penny, was now found not guilty at all. Ooh, you see that? He was found not guilty of all charges. I knew that was going to happen Not because, white people are always getting over on killing us in the street, but I knew it was going to happen because everybody put so much attention on Diddy. You understand? That y'all didn't even pay attention to the guy. Some of y'all already forgot that he actually killed somebody on a train. Daniel Penny. Some of y'all didn't even know his name. You go, what's the dude? The white guy, man, that killed the dude on the train. What's his name? That's how you know you ain't paying attention. And that's why he walked away. Now that he's found out guilty, now y'all want to hold signs up and protest. Stop it. Look, go home. Go home. Don't start protesting. Now, you should have did that when it happened, and you should have kept the pressure on. And it would have been a political pressure. But you didn't. You went and you got on social media and you was talking about everybody else bull crap, and you ignored what was going on. Or you Black Lives Matter. I don't really want to hear what you got to say, because Black Lives Matter was started by a Jewish white person. So I don't even know how you come up with Black Lives Matter. Don't come up with something that some white person started for you, because they control it. Whoever controls the business controls the time. And whoever controls the time controls your mind. You ever heard that saying? So don't tell me about Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter. You want to protest and make it look good because you're getting all this nonprofit organization money. I don't want to hear that. And I'm not here to shit on Black Lives Matter. I'm not here to shit on nobody. I'm here to just talk the truth. If you feel that I'm lying, then show them proof. As the brothers in the nation of gods and earth will say, show them proof, God. If you feel what I'm saying is a lie. But this man got arrested. He said Daniel Penny came in the train station and he was causing all kind of records, saying he was going to kill this person and that person, right? And this guy, Daniel Penny, in his interrogation at the precinct, he says that the guy came in there screaming and you had kids there and people was afraid, and I just got up behind him and I put him in a chokehold. He said he was non-confrontational, but yet he got up and put him in a chokehold. The chokehold, he said he was taught to do when he was in the Marines, but yet he's non-confrontational. How are you in the army, you non-confrontational? Oh, man. That's like me saying, I'm not religious, but I'm Muslim. That makes sense to you? So when he put the guy in a chokehold that the Marines taught him, the Marine instructor, he said at that point, the two other people came and held McNeely arms. The officer specifically asked him, it's on tape, God damn it. I wish I could put it up here, but I don't want to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I got it. You could go on YouTube and pull up Daniel Penny's interrogation. And this is what he said, national live on social media. So the evidence is out there, baby. He said, when they grabbed both of his arms, at that point, I released Mr. McNeely and let him go until the police came. That's what he said. He said it at the precinct. But yet we still see videos of you choking him while they holding him. Now, you already know you've been choked before. I know I have. And the first thing when I get choked for, the first thing that I'm concerned with, and it's important to me, is ear. Not even my family, because it's this nature. You think in my ear. So I know McNeely was saying he couldn't breathe. I know he heard him going, but he said, oh, I wasn't. In the interrogation, he said, I didn't even choke him. I just held him. That's what he said. So how the hell he died of a lack of oxygen if you didn't choke him? The second thing that interests me in that interrogation was saying that he was trained as a green belt. So he's a Channel 5 karate dude now, right? And his instructor from the Marines and his his green belt karate expert took the stand and said, we never trained him in that way to choke someone. That is an improper chokehold. Both of them said that. Both of them. So he's trained to murder. He's trained to change guns. He's trained to clean guns. He's trained to kill. Mr. Non-confrontational. And then they found him not guilty. And did you Look at all the white people comments during this case on social. I want you to read it. I want you. Sometimes you may respond. I do to it. I get a little tight because I love my people. But you have to listen to what they're saying. You see what I played? How white people is being engineered to be racist. They being spoon fed. I played that video. You see the outcome of it. You understand? You see the outcome of it. And they all felt that McNeely should have died. I'm going to say that again. They all felt he should have died. They said that. And they felt that Daniel Penny did nothing wrong. They said he did the right thing. As a matter of fact, I got the video of this dude at the same time being case dismissed. He's at a bar with all his white peers. I won't say friends because I didn't really see anybody that was his friend there. But people were shaking his hand. They was patting him on his back. White folks. White folks. So stop. That's why I make this video. Stop thinking that you have equal equality in this country. You don't. If you did, you wouldn't need a civil rights bill. It would just be an American bill. But they separate it because they want to give you some rights and you feel good about it. And you think, oh, I got rights, I can do this. No, you don't have rights. You ever heard the saying, those who make the rules break the rules? Those who make the rules kill presidents too. So don't think, oh, we're going to protest and we're going to, no. Everybody that been talking this and talking about separating and talking about building their own as a people has been assassinated. You got Malcolm X, the king at the last minute. You got Elijah Muhammad, where he was an assassin, but they tried to chase him all. They put so many propaganda between him and Malcolm X. They made movies called The X. Oh my God. They do everything. Marcus Garvey, same thing. They do this to all our leaders because if we separate from that system, and I'm not talking about, oh, we have our own community. No. You could do that because the Jews firsthand taught us that. The Italians taught us firsthand of that. Okay, so you can have your own community and run it. You understand? But what I'm trying to say is once you start thinking like that and you start doing things like that, you become public enemy number one. And whoever your leader is that's promoting that, they're gonna come at them through the media. They're gonna make up propagandas, man. They're gonna mix truth and half truth. That's what devils do. Devils do that all day. They mix truth with half truth. I want you to see something. Hold on. I want you to see this. I really want you to see this here because this is very interesting, to see. I know I've been up here about an hour and a half. Lord, I've been up here that long. Sure. I guess it's always like that when you're on a roll and you're talking and you're speaking truth. You know what I'm saying? You start speaking some truth, so I'm just waiting for it to start loading up. I really want you to really see this. I wonder what y'all doing today. What's going on today, y'all? What y'all up to today? Huh? Okay. Let's see if it'll come up. If it'll come up, it'll come up. If not, we're gonna just keep it pushing. But yeah, that's pretty much. I was actually gonna show you the video of Daniel Penny up in the bar, having a good old time. Just having a good old time. You know what I'm saying? And they laugh. Yo, you really got to hear. Yo, what I told you. Yo, you got to hear this, man. Everything I was telling you about how white people be thinking. Yo, you really have to. You really have to see this, man. The news outlet. Penny having fun. Because I see it looks like it ain't gonna come up for some apparent reason. Actually, it was actually the newscaster. They was showing how, it looks like it ain't gonna come up for some apparent reason. Caster, they was showing how, it looks like it ain't gonna come up for some apparent reason. Okay.
Yeah. I'm also told we have brand new video after the not guilty verdict of him leaving a bar. Is that correct? Okay, here we go.
But it was
Went out
funny.
for a drink to celebrate, I guess.
I know the bar.
Wow, look at that. Looks like Wall
Let me
Street.
tell you something. This guy, Danny Penny.
I want y'all to listen to that
I'm also told we
language.
have brand new video after the not guilty verdict of him leaving a bar. Is that correct? Okay, here we go.
But it was funny.
Went out for a drink to celebrate, I guess.
I know the bar.
Wow, look at that. Looks like Wall Street.
Let me tell you something. This guy, Danny Penny, for the last year and a half, has been totally rigid. He hasn't done anything other than respect the system, respect the citizen, the New York City, and everything about this case.
God bless him. He's been
And
put
it's
through hell.
time for him to let loose a little bit.
Wow.
This is a Zen guy. Remember, he played in the symphony. He's 26 years old. He's a kid.
Yeah, and you think about what he has been through.
Yeah, he's been through hell for no reason. If that prosecutor.
Wow. You hear that? He been through hell for no reason. No reason? He's 28, 26 years old. He's just a baby. He been through hell for no reason. How is he a baby and this scum dog signed up to being the Marines to kill people? Come on, don't start that white stuff with me. You ain't gonna get that fly over here. Post on your page when done as a short video if they allow it. Good information you gave. I'm gonna keep tuning in. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get another laptop. That's what I'm gonna do. Because this one, I really don't work with it too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to doing things on the phone, not making no excuses, but I figure, what I got to say is important. You know what I'm saying? Those who want to hear it can hear it. Those who don't want to hear it, that's cool. You could go back and go right back to sleep. I say go to sleep because what we call that being mentally dead. When someone try to put you on and you're awake and you like, yeah, I see it. And then next week you start going back doing the same thing. Yeah, you went right back to sleep. We call that being mentally dead. And that's why I decided to do this because, they have their own way of airing things out. Well, I'm gonna have my way of airing things out. That's why I call this the lethal truth. I ain't talking about no lies and no propaganda machine to get no views so I can get paid. If I get views, I get views. If I get paid, I get paid. I just like doing this. I just like talking. That's just me. I just like talking the truth. Especially when you got those outside out there scared to speak it. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to get on here and they want to talk about gang banging and I can't talk about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would touch up on it, but I'm not going to make every podcast about gang banging, especially if I don't gang bang. Like, what? I don't understand that. Talk about something more important. Don't get me wrong, because maybe it's a safe haven to talk about gang banging and all of that stuff because ain't nothing going to happen to you. Start talking about this shit I'm talking about. You're going to have a problem eventually. You start getting those views up there like that, you're going to start having a problem. Remember Dr. Sebi? Oh, tomorrow we're going to talk about Dr. Sebi. We're going to tune in tomorrow and we're going to talk about Dr. Sebi. Yeah, they came after him too. So I don't want this channel, when white people see this is not about racism. They're using you too. As I talk about Dr. Sebi, hopefully tomorrow, you're going to see me leave a schedule. And hopefully I get to talk about him, and you're gonna see it's an attack on white people too, poor white people, especially those in this generation who's integrating sexually or physically and making babies for the future. They have a problem with that because white people have zero population growth. Yeah, phones are better to use. Yeah, I'm trying to use the phone, but with this, I gotta have I have to have 50 views. 50 subscribers, which I'm trying to get now. So I'm only able to do live right now on the laptop. I can't do it on the phone. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna post some stuff on the phone, just to get people out, so I don't have to keep tuning into different screens. You know what I mean? Because this screen is a laptop is a little suspect, but you know what? It's getting the message out. That's good enough. That's good enough for me. So, like I say, this is what's going on. Anybody that's a person of color wants to separate out of that system and to build their people up economically, you're going to have an issue if you're a person of color. We spend more money and make more money than a year than anybody else. So just imagine if us pulling our money together and make our own banks. They don't want that, because when you have that, you become an issue. Gaddafi, he tried to do that. He made his own bank to rival the American dollar because the dollar is falling. And Libya is in Africa. Libya is in Africa. He was making the money in Africa and African money to rival European money. Where's Gaddafi today? Where's Gaddafi today? You see what I'm saying? They don't want you focusing on Africa. They don't, what? That's you crazy? You do that, you'll take over this country overnight. Every resources, 100% is in Africa. That's why they want you partying in Paris. They don't want you going to no Africa. You'll get you'll get culture shock. You go over there. Soon as you get off the plane, I haven't been there, but my mother did. I'm trying to go. But she told me that when you get off the plane, everything black. People getting the luggage. As soon as you go in there, you see the security, black. You see the people at the restaurants, the cooks are black. The waitresses are black. The policemen are black. You turn on the TV, you see a president, black. You get culture shock because you're in a whole goddamn black world. And they don't want you thinking like that, because when you come back, you're going to be culture shock because everything is you. Hey, good morning, brother. Hey, good morning, sister. Yo, we got to do something better for our people, man. Yo, I was in Africa. The shit I saw, they don't want that talk. It's okay for Diddy and Diddy and Jay-Z and Tyler Perry and now Cat Williams to have all these economic structures separately. But once they start bringing it together, you're going to have a problem. Cat, I believe, going to be the first one, because Cat, he's a little bit more conscious, and he likes to talk a little bit more than a lot of entertainers. And he said this. He said, why do you think they always thinking about black people? He said this. He said, because black people don't know who they are, but they know who we are. They know who we are because they took it from us and they kept it hidden. They exactly know who we are. And if we tap into who we are, it's going to be a problem for Europeans in the country and across the world. We are 11-1 across the world. And as of right now, white people in America has zero population growth, which means when one born, one dies. When we die, 11 is born, or 5 to 10 is born. So our population growth, and that's just with the dark complexion people. We're not talking about the people who speak Spanish. Our Tainos and Aztecs who speak Spanish. We're not even talking about them. We ain't talking about the Indians and the Black Indians. We ain't talking about them either. But you include all that, they got a problem. So this is why they want to hold Puff back. This is why they want to hold Jay-Z back. This is why they want to hold Bill Cosby back. This is why they had to get rid of Malcolm X. This is why they had to get rid of Dr. Martin Luther King. This is why they had to get rid of Marcus Garvey. This is why they had to get rid of Gaddafi. All your black leaders had to go. Any black leader that's talking financial liberation for you, horticultural liberation for you, anything that's dealing with this it's going to be a problem. You understand? These cell phones. In order for these cell phones to continue to exist, they have to get the molecules out of the Congo and the caves. Where's the Congo? Africa. They need Africa. Everything they use in this country, they have to get the resources from Africa. So you may hear about civil wars going on there. When you hear about that, that means they had the white version that's financing the street gangsters and promising them power, and then they go after the other politician followers, and then you have a civil war. And you think the Africans is over there going crazy. No, man. Europeans fight over God. They fight over God, which means gold, oil, and drugs. That's it. They do not fight for no freedom. They don't fight for no humanity. If they did, you wouldn't have all these diseases here. You ain't had no cancer in slavery, did you? You ain't had no high blood pressure in slavery, did you? We ain't read about it until when? I rest my case. But see, that goes to the food. We'll talk about that tomorrow with Dr. Sebi and the food, because I want to teach people how to eat to live. You know what I'm saying? But back on the topic I was talking about here. Yeah, you got to be careful. Even running Lethal Seduction, me and my wife, swinger club, right? It's an issue. When you go to places like Manhattan, white people always have the pull to get locations to set up business. When it comes to us, they don't want us in unless we become partners with them and we own at least, they own at least 50%. They will not let us get sole ownership. And they'll quickly make it into a corporation. Why? Because in business, when you make things into a corporation, you have board of directors, which means you have shareholders now. So the business no longer becomes solely yours. You can have more shares, but they can vote you out the boardroom and make decisions on your business from blood, sweat, and tears, but you yet don't have no say. Sure, you can get money over it, but you won't control it. That's what they do, baby. So me and my wife, we be like, no, I don't care. We ain't taking nothing. We ain't taking no loans from no white people. We ain't doing nothing. And then in my parties, a lot of them come to me and say, hey, I got a friend, he can help you out and get some play. No, I don't need your help. I don't need your help. I didn't need your help starting it. I don't need your help now. No disrespect to anybody, but this is how I'm thinking because I know my history. I know what you coming for. You coming for ownership. Just so we are all aware, people who are openly racist and openly white supremacists are celebrating the penny verdict like they just won the Super Bowl. We are celebrating the same thing as them. Hey, yeah, they are. That's why I have put it up. They celebrating, but they was socially, and when I mean socially meaning as all of us together socially. They were socially engineering his freedom. First, they said, oh, white guy killed McNeely. First, everybody painted McNeely as the guy who suffered because everybody knew him for portraying Michael Jackson on the subway. You couldn't ride that subway station for years and not know who this guy was, I heard. I never saw him because I don't ride a train. Well, now I do, but for a few years, I wasn't riding the trains. I was always driving or I was on my motorcycle. So I never ran into this guy. But then it started to change. Oh, he had schizophrenia and he was on K2 and he had a mental issue. When I start hearing mental issue, that's when I know they about to put a spin on it, because every time a white person shoot up a whole school to be sorry for him, that's what they use. They say, oh, he had a mental issue. Or when they kill us, they say, oh, he had a mental issue. And all of a sudden, Daniel Penny became the Marine all of a sudden. Oh, he was a Marine veteran. When you go and look at the interrogation, as soon as he sit down, they say, this little officer, they say, I heard you was in the Marines. They go, yeah. He said, well, yeah, I was in the 63rd or some corp. And he was like, yeah, I was in this. Let me tell you something. Marines has a code of silence like police with the Blue Wall Street. They protect each other. Although the cop had a job to do because he was on camera, but he didn't ask him those tough ass questions that he asked black people when he interrogated. He don't use a reverse psychology to trip you up, to make you trip over your lies. It was beautiful with him. It was cordial with him. He wasn't handcuffed to the chair. It was so cool. And they say, hey, get up and demonstrate how you did it. They let him put his arm around their neck because they trusted their white brothers. You think they would have let me put my arm around his neck after killing somebody? You think I would have been out of their handcuffs in the chair? Bad people can't be racist, but bro, we need to start. You know, I won't say that we need to start because, to be honest, we was never racist. It ain't even in our blood to be racist. It's not in our DNA. Look at everything that's happening to us, and we still want to be friends with white folks. We still want to start family with white folks. We still keep their last name. Because I know my ancestors didn't come over here as Morgan. I got a bastard last name. Well, although in my righteous name, I tell you something else. I don't go by that. I just use that name because I'm behind enemy lines. So when I go and start talking to you, I don't want you to hear righteous name. I want you to hear your former slave name. Yeah, and you like it, don't you? But look, we can't, it's hard for us to be, slaves. And I can actually talk about how we got to this point because we put ourselves in this point. We actually taught white folks education, and we taught them how to conquer us because we was doing something that we wasn't supposed to be doing. But that's a whole nother topic. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother topic when we taught them in Egypt, because you had Kemet and you had Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt. That's where white people live. We lived in the Kemet. But that's, like I said, that's a whole nother story. We're going to get somewhere else with that. But I when they, like the sister said, Brittany, when the verdict came, white people were celebrating, man. They were celebrating. You heard the sister, you heard the lady on the news. She was like, oh, he was going through it. He's 26 years old. He's just a kid. But you ain't say that when he was in the Marines with an AR-15 blowing somebody goddamn head off. That didn't cross your mind. So I don't care about him being okay. He was old enough and smart enough and had knowledge enough to know how to kill somebody. And he up there having drinks and celebrating. But you know what's going to happen eventually, because these young brothers today, they're not like my generation. In my generation, we definitely not like my mother's generation. Those are the Afro-Americans and all of them. The people with the bald head that call themselves Afro-Americans. Those the ones, and I don't got nothing bad to say, but those are the ones that pacified us to turn the other cheek. But we started getting a little crazy when the drug thing came in. Now, the drill era, these young people killing police. They robbing white people. They run up in their iPhone stores and they wreak havoc. Just on TikTok, the comments are crazy and they are very, very proud of Penny verdict. Yeah, I know, because I was on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Because actually, I was going to talk about Dr. Sebi Sunday. Like I said, I had a meeting, so I had to postpone it. And Monday, get a little caught up. You know what I'm saying? So today I figured, damn, since now they talking about Jay-Z and I ain't really getting touch up with it, then I'm gonna just go combine all of it, because it really complements each other. Why they come at us and why they promote their own of killing us. It's already written. I said in the beginning of this live, I showed the video. Abraham Lincoln wrote this. It's in the Library of Congress. He had I have a dream for white people. He wanted to make America an all-white country. He wanted to get rid of the Africans, and he made ships and he sailed them to Africa, mostly South Africa. This is in history. This is in Library of Congress. This is indoctrinated. This is why the statues, the monuments are still there. This is why he on the money, because it's indoctrinated. They don't have to tell you. They put it in history books. They put the monuments of them. They honor them. They put them on a pedestal to let you know. This is how you feel about Harriet Tubman when you see her picture. You be like, yeah, that's how they feel. That's why they do what they do. Because they know they're going to get away with it. They know that. Now, don't get me wrong. Every now and then, every couple of years, they have to make an example. Okay? Because after that George Floyd stuff, it scared white people. It scared white people. Because not only we was protesting, but we was tearing up America everywhere. In the stores, they didn't really care, because a lot of the stores are owned by foreigners. So what they would do is they would put in some applications to get free money from the government, who would in turn have to borrow more money from the Federal Reserve Bank, which puts the country more in debt. You see, God works in mysterious ways, baby. Every time they come at us, there's something wrong. And then their schools get shot up. More white people die, zero population growth. You're in trouble. And not only that, I want you to really look at this real quick. Although it's still indoctrinated like that, do you know that white people are losing their way of life, and this is why they're really, really more outspoken than they are? I'm going to say it again. They're losing their way of life. They can't go and live wherever they want to live anymore. Their money is dying. Their food in America is the worst food around the world. Nobody around the country likes them. America, white people. They got floods going all over the goddamn place because the country is sinking. Especially in New York City. Take a picture of New York City. It took me a few years to know that New York City, the whole entire New York City, is on top of a water. And they keep building and building. When have you ever heard Manhattan getting flooded? Manhattan don't get floods. God works in mysterious ways. You're losing your way of life. You can't even say nigga no more. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can say that behind doors, closed doors, but go to any black person. I don't care who it is, a grandmother, and call them a nigga in their face and see what happens. You're losing your way of life. Some of you just don't see it. You know? Some of you just don't see it. And our rise are coming because now we got black banks. I believe Spike Lee, Magic Johnson, and Janet Jackson, they got one together in Atlanta. I think we got 2 black banks. You know, we got some distribution deals. One of the brothers, he got 180 television channels. Ice Cube, he got one, and he got his big 3, his own basketball team. Things are starting to change. We got our own Hollywood. We don't need Hollywood no more. You're losing your way of life. Your rule is dying. To the point now that even Trump won the second term. You understand? No Democratic, no Republicans and all of that. Although Trump is the same type of way. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those white people that like to shake hands with black people. I call him the Lucky Luciano of business. The mafia godfather. Lucky Luciano, he never liked to do business with Bumpy Johnson and a lot of other black gangsters. Well, not him, his organization, the mob. But his thing was, listen, you chase the money, you don't got to chase the color. The money will come. Look past the color. They could get money over there and we could get money over here as long as we do it together. And that's what Trump was doing throughout the years. How many people own property with Trump or have a shared business with Trump? All these black photos he got with people. I won't say black, all these photos he got with black people. How many of them own business with him? Like Puffy said, they need us to help them with their diversity problem. because we run the culture. We run the culture. We said Adidas was cool. Kanye said it. And you ran and you made Adidas millions, right? Nobody was checking for Adidas. They came knocking on your Kanye, we need your help. Oh my God, we need your help, Kanye. Nobody's buying Adidas. They all going to Nike and G Unit and all. We need new stuff. He said, I got you. You understand? I got you. They do that with all entertainers. They do that with Jordan. They do it with the ones. Jordan has some stocks in it. But he saw what they was doing. They said, you know what? I want my own sneakers now. Y'all eating too much off me. And it ain't like that. You know, you try to send him a message. I'm not promoting no conspiracy thing because I don't know what happened, but I know as soon as he decided to be independent and start his own Jordan sneaker line, his father was murdered. You understand what I'm saying? Then you got Prince, you got Michael Jackson. They don't want you owning nothing, man. They don't want you owning nothing. Diddy's just the tip of the iceberg. He's too powerful. He's too strong. He could open too many doors. I don't want that. I don't want that. Did you know when Bill Cosby was first starting to get NBC, you know who helped him? And they pumped their brakes? Magic Johnson, Oprah, and Spike Lee. And you already know how they feel about Spike Lee. Come on now. You already know how they feel about him. You know what I'm saying? But as you can see, NBC didn't happen. Because imagine if you have an own black show that you dictate. Something like BET. Let me show you something. Because a lot of y'all was too young to know this. In the early 2000s, BET was popping. We didn't want to go to no other music network but BET, even white people. You understand? BET was our home. And at that time, they had the BET News. Oh, baby. They were showing the news about black people that you couldn't see nowhere in America because we had our own television news network. So what they didn't promote, we promoted. And we was always on BET, so we was always informed. They said, we got to go get these niggas. You know why? Because information, knowledge is power, not money. Money just helps shit get done. Knowledge is power. Because with knowledge, you're aware of everything that's going on around you pertaining to what you're looking for. You understand what I'm saying? So BET became a big threat. You understand? And when they started complaining about what is that? The after hours with the uncut, they tried to make it into that wasn't it. That was the camouflage to come at BET. But it was the BET News that was really a big problem. So they made Bob Johnson and his wife an offer they couldn't refuse. And that's what they do. They tell you something like this. We're interested in your enterprise. And we want to give you $3 billion. But let me tell you something, nigga. You got some people out there that don't like what y'all doing. So you got a choice. Either you're going to sell it or the propaganda machine is going to come after you. And he sold it for $3 billion. And him and his wife split the money. And Bob Johnson went his way to I'm going to do something in Hollywood with my money. You ain't hear about him no more, right? What happened to BET? Let me tell you the first thing that left BET when they took it over. The news. Those of you who remember when BET was popping, you remember the first thing they took was the news channel. Because information is power. They want you to look at Eyewitness News. They want you to look at truth mixed with lies and propaganda that don't got nothing to deal with you. The only time they actually talk about you is either you trying to run for something, like a president or Congress, or you committing some crazy crimes. Nothing really positive. They ain't promoting nothing really positive about us in their news network. So they went and got BET. And then they changed it. They started making everything bright, free, and AJ, they removed 2 brown-skinned people, and then they replaced them with some light-colored people. You remember? What was his sister name? I don't even know their names. And I don't saying that I'm taking anything away from them, because those are my brother and sister. They took an opportunity because, you know, they needed work. That's how they do you. You know, they get your own to take less money. That's what they do. I know, sad. That's why I say, you know, nothing is never going to change unless we separate. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about mentally and culturally and economically. Definitely economically, because they bleeding us with all these holidays. You got Christmas. You got Labor Day, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's. What's that? Easter. They have a month they have a month for everything to keep you broke. When in no seasons. I mean, every season it is designed to keep you. You can't save for nothing. On top of that, we're built up. We're not going to just get, you know, we ain't gonna go off topic. But yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to control our narrative. Anytime we start an organization, they have to control it. The NAACP, that's not ours. It's never been ours. That belongs to Jews. See, what you don't know is that during the civil rights movement, the Jews was being treated like they were niggas, because Jews, they like to have this type of ammunition or thing that they will try to make their religion into a race. So they'll say, yeah, you know, the black guy, the white guy, and the Jewish guy. No, it's a black guy, a white guy, and a white Jewish guy. That's what you say. Don't try to say Jewish. But the Jews had a bad hand, and he was being treated like niggas. So they had the money because they controlled the banks. So they was able to fund the people who was being arrested in the civil rights movement to make a groundbreaking history experiment for them to achieve their goal to be free under the Civil Rights Bill. So they started the NAACP. Now that the Civil Rights Bill has passed and people is benefiting of it, I mean benefiting from it, you're not. Even Jews are benefiting from it. Anti-Semitic, they're benefiting. Now they treat us like shit. See how that go? Oh, you want to control it? We got Black Lives Matter. And they funded it, they started it, and then they put a black face there. And they said, go ahead. And then they said, we're going to watch this one. Yeah, we're going to watch this one. Oh, she's getting a little too. Let's see if she would give us some money, let us steal some money out of the savings, and hopefully she'll get a house. And they make it accessible to you, because it's hard for someone not to always touch $1 million or $2 million in your bag, especially when you got access to it. And they started buying cars and their name through the organization, which is nothing wrong with that, because all organizations and businesses do that. But they started stealing money, and the owners knew that. And then they got caught up, and the owners knew that too. Because, you know, some people be out of their lane. You don't stay in your lane. Give me a second. Okay, America, I'm back. So as I was saying, you know, they don't want to succeed. And if we try, they want to control our narrative. And sometimes I can't be upset. I gotta understand. No, for real. Think about it. If you built a house from scratch, well, not you, but you have somebody else build it for you, but it's your house. And you dictate what goes on in your house from the beginning of time of you building it and taking it over. Now you allow somebody to move in. That's not your family. And they live with you now. And they start to do things that becomes independent. Now, when it becomes independent, it rivals your independence because two powers cannot occupy the same space at the same time. That's why you always got one heavyweight champion and you have one NBA team that win. It's always going to be one winner. There's no peace and harmony. There's always somebody who's going to want to oppress somebody because they want what you have. And from the beginning of time, when they left Europe and they met us in Kemet, and they saw all the gold, they saw the pyramids, they saw all of that. Man, they said, what the hell? We ain't doing nothing. Go and check out their history. Go. They're going to take you right to the Secaucus Mountains, in the mountains where it's like 30 degrees Fahrenheit. That's why they can adapt to the cold. It's their culture. It's their nature. This is not racism. This is history. They tell you that. They know that. You ever heard of the cartoon Captain Caveman? Remember the commercial with the man? He was a caveman. That's their history. They know it. They just don't tell you because you keep telling you're going to start realizing that they never made nothing. They always took from us or took from someone else. And those are the ancestors. And you have some whites today that has that same mindset. Not every white person is like that. I'm going to say it again. Not every white person is like that. You have some people that's white that all want us to be free. They want us to have equal rights. Even during slavery, they helped us to escape from slavery. We didn't do it by ourselves. Harriet Tubman didn't do it by herself. It's written. It's written. But some people like to write certain people out of history. But predominantly, we helped ourselves, but there were some white people that tried to help us because some white people were slaves too, actually started to own slaves, but then treat their slaves like other people. You know what I'm saying? And they sympathized with us and they tried to help us. It's hard to actually want to be a rebel under a system that's a way you can't bounce away from. Like slavery around that time, like it was hard for a white person to give black people equal rights in front of white people. Do you know how that would make you look? And you live in a town like that, and the whole town now thinks you're a nigger lover. Man, you don't want that. You already see what blacks going through. They don't want to go through it too. So sometimes people got to play their position. Now, here for the knowledge said, I wonder if Martin Luther King Jr. regretted for all of us to come together when he was trying to stop segregation. Yes, he did. If you look back in my beginning of my podcast, I had played Dr. Martin Luther King, where he was talking about boycotting Wonder Bread, a lot of other companies that produce their products because of their racial profiling. He actually said, and this is his mountaintop speech, his last speech that they don't want nobody to listen to. Check it out. It's on YouTube. It's called The Mountaintop Speech. And he was saying that my dream turned into a nightmare because he realized that he was bamboozled through the whole thing with Kennedy order. He was tricked. And he was tricked because he knew segregation was going to be over with, right? He knew it. And what happened was once they integrated, all our businesses shut down and moved to the white neighborhoods. Well, white people going to put more white people around that time, so their business didn't do too good. And all the businesses and our teachers in the school system over here shut down. Guess what happened? It was open field day for the economic market. So white people, Chinese people, everybody came and they set up shop in our own place. Now we don't have a black community. You don't have your own schools to teach your own teachers. You don't have you don't have nothing. So they controlled everything. So now they put bad food in our community. You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting. Everybody's down there overweight. But yeah, not to go too far into it, but yeah, Dr. King, he didn't at the end of his life, that's why they killed him. He was pushing for economic segregation. He was pushing for all types of segregation, not physically, but mentally. You know what I'm saying? Because he told all his people in his speech, come back to your community. Do not move out of your community. They said, wait a minute, man. This dude talking about not leaving the community, going back. So you want to take the money back out of the white community, put it in the black community. You want to boycott us too, and the garbage trucks. Remember that? You want to boycott that too. And now you want to tell people to unify. And now we watch you talking to Elijah Muhammad. This nigga gotta die. And he blew his head off. Yeah. Sad thing. But, that's what life has become for us living around white folks. Like I played that clip, they're being spoon-fed, being racist slowly. They're not being it depends on the vibe. Like I have one video I was trying to put up where the dude said both sides of his family is racist. He said it's on YouTube. It was called what it called? A white guy revealed the secrets of his family. Check it out, it's on YouTube. And what he was trying to do, he was saying that he said, let me tell you something, white people are racist. He said it's either they come from a racist family or they all know someone that's racist and they all have a friend that's right. This is his words. He's white. I'm not white. I don't hang out with white people all day, so I don't know this. I just know your mentality, your behavior by what I watch through your actions, through documents and history books. That's all I know, okay? So he knows better than me, and he said that they teach them that at an early age. Example, so if you want to put on a show and you say, I want to watch Jamie Foxx, they say, no, don't put that nigga on. This is how they talk. What? You think I don't talk like that? Can you picture your white friend talking about, hey, did you see my African-American friend? The hell they do? Just like some of y'all be like, yo, them crackers be doing that. They say the same thing. They be like, yo, oh man, we going in to see where the niggas are at. That's how they talk. You understand? And he said that's how they talk in his house. He said everything is monkey or nigga or coon. Or what he said? I think monkey climber or something like that. But when they see you, they're Fred. How you doing, Shakim? How you doing, Fred? What's going on? How's you guys? It's called friendly racism now. They don't do it out in the open no more because they're afraid that you're going to knock them upside their goddamn head because that old black man, 1800, that's gone, baby. That 1900 black man, that's gone, baby. This is a whole different black men and women now. You act crazy, it's going to get crazy. As a matter of fact, there's a black militia that y'all don't know about. Check it out. It's on YouTube. It's called the Black NFA. Or just pull up Black Militia in America. They look different from Black Panthers. These brothers and sisters, they got their SK rifles, they got AK rifles, they got other rifles that I can't even pronounce. And they telling you bluntly, we're here to protect our people. We got a right to bear arms. We're not committing no crime. But if you come over this line and you think you're going to try to take our arms, we are going to fire and self-defense. This is what they're saying. They said, if we come to a protest and if you whites try to act up and assault us, we are going to fire. They ain't playing. They deep and they militant as hell. They showed them doing target practice and everything. I said, oh shit, this is different. But they got to be careful because this is what the Panthers did. And what the government did, FBI, they rung the bell on all the precincts around America and say, y'all got a green light to shut them down, do whatever you want to do. So they killed Fred Hampton in his sleep after being drugged, stuff like that. And this is what we got to be aware of. This is why we got to be careful, because it's gonna come to a head. You know what I mean? When you start rapping that conscious stuff, it's gonna be a problem, man. Because music does something to the brain. You know what I mean? When I was growing up, they had this crew called X-Clan, and they was rapping conscious. They had X-Clan, Brand Nubian, Public Enemy. Yo, I used to walk around with African bandanas with the African hat like X-Clan. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was about 10 years old. But everybody was doing it because it looked fly. But unknown to me, I could imagine how white people was taking it. Oh shit, I'm in Brooklyn. It looks like Africa. Oh, we got to get this conscious rap stuff out here. Next thing you know, they're going to want to start owning stuff. Where's the conscious rap today? What happened to it? They try to get drill rap. Thank you, black mothers and fathers. Y'all stepped up because they was trying to slip it in. Yeah, they was trying. They was trying to have our whole place look more of a war zone. But we got to stop that, put it on YouTube. It's out there still. But they need drill to keep us in balance. They always try to get the old against the young, the Willie Lynch law, as y'all call it. I don't call it the Willie Lynch law. That's not Willie Lynch law. You want me to prove it? All right, I'm going to prove it to you right now. When you read the law, and Willie Lynch breaks down everything, the method that he used. First and foremost, he was a slave owner, not a slave maker. That's what it says in the introduction. But the ending, after everything that he breaks down on how to make a slave, he said, gentlemen, if you follow this method, my experts say that this will last for over 1,000 years. That was in the 1800s, so we ain't nowhere near 1,000 yet. My question is, who's the experts? You ain't think about that, did you? Go ahead, read the law. It's right in your face. He said, our experts. Experts are scientists of human nature when you're dealing with that. But I thought it was your law. If you need a law, if this is your law and you made it, why you need experts? Because it was never your law. It was the science of evil, what you may call Satan or mindset. It was the powers that be that put, they always do that. They always make something to go after people, and they put it in the law, and they always put somebody else's name on it. Like, this is the Amber Alert. Who made it up? You don't know, but Amber name is there. This is what they do. So y'all got anything? Y'all got any questions? Woo, I've been up here 2 hours and 26. Man, I ain't know I was going to be up here that long. I really didn't think I was going to be up here that long. But please hit that subscribe button. I know I ain't say it then to hold it. Hit that subscribe button. Tell those that you know, forward this video to them. Please tell them to hit the subscribe button and check this video out. It's very important because I'm going to be talking about a whole lot of truth. You know what I'm saying? After I think after Dr. Sebi, I might talk about the record industry, because I don't want to go too much deep into the past or the history. I like to bring it up and bring it back and bring it up again, because if you start talking history with people that's younger, they get distracted quick. This country has a short attention span. As soon as you walk out the house, you're distracted about everything. The traffic light, you're always on your phone about something. We always get distracted. We have a short attention span. At first everybody was like, yeah, Diddy, and then they went to Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Now from Kendrick Lamar and Drake, they went to Penny. From Penny, they went back to Puffy. I told you, it's a short attention span. The media controls our mindset. So, with that being said, I'm going to give it like 5 more minutes. Anybody got anything, any questions? Thing you want me to speak on? He popped on my phone. Jay-Z accused of raping a minor. Oh man. Oh yo, these people with this minor, man. They running by Jay-Z and the minors. What about Elvis and the minors? They even got it on video where you had a bunch of 13-year-old outside his house screaming for him, spending nights outside the house while he had his 14-year-old girlfriend, Lisa Marie Presley, mother, in the house before they got married. He tearing her back out while he was in his 30s and she was about 14. The king of rock and roll. White people love him. This having sex with minors. We still got them former slave master statues up there who was raping minors. Celine Dion just came out. I didn't even know. She said, oh, I fell in love with my husband. She told me her life story, her husband or marriage. Her husband was 38 years old when she met him. She was 12. She said it was love at first sight. And then he waited until she was 16 and then they got married. Why is you proud to say that a 38-year-old man became sexually attractive to a 12-year-old and she said that like it was the right thing to say? Is that appropriate? Is it appropriate for a 38-year man to have a sexual fantasy or sexual relation or thought for a 12-year-old? I'm just trying to figure this out. See, they could do it, but we can't. But then they encourage them brothers to do that. You know, they encourage them brothers to do that. And, you know, it happened. Like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know that maybe they did was dealing with minors. You know, I don't know. I just find it ironic that you were wait after 30-something years to tell me what you was doing at a party. If you 14, how old are you now? You damn near pushing 50 telling me you was at a Diddy party? Come on, man. Get out of here. Yeah, I ain't trying to hear that. I don't even care. Even if it's true, I don't care. You know why? Because you didn't say nothing in the beginning. And then they throw y'all off with this crap. Look, this is what they tell y'all. Oh, the only reason why they don't want to talk about it is because Diddy has influence and money that he could get people hurt. I didn't even know you had to be on the streets to do that. I know a bunch of gangsters from Brooklyn that was getting rid of witnesses while they was upstate and on Rikers Island. I done read about mafia bosses who got bailed out for RICO cases that involved 2 or 3 murders and people cars was getting blown up. People was ending up missing. But Puffy's more dangerous than that? Get out of here. I ain't even knew that. That got me over here tripping. No, for real. Oh, and before I end, let me say this to y'all. Because obviously you never had a lawsuit and you never filed one yourself. I did one personally myself before. This is what happens. Look. When you file your lawsuit, you can make any goddamn claim you want. I'm going to say it again. When you putting in a lawsuit, you can make whatever claim up you want. They have to file it. It's mandatory. It's the law. Now, after that, you got to prove it. See, it's a whole different topic after that once you get into the courthouse. Once your case being heard for this lawsuit, which they will call state claims or 1983, you have to process that. And once you get in court, now you have to prove it. So I ain't getting no actual claims of a lawsuit that recently happened about a week or 2 before he got locked up, because the statute of limitations, you could put it on his indictment, right? I mean, he got sexual human trafficking. Do you know what that case is? Do you know what that charge means? Let me explain it to you. If I'm a millionaire and I'm having a LS party, which I love, and I say, well, look, I need some exquisite people at my party because I got people here and I got money. They want that top notch because they're used to groupies, bad exotic looking groupies. So I got to bring them exotic women. I can't bring no average looking woman for these people. So guess what? I'm gonna make some calls because I'm on that level now. See what I'm saying? And I used to go to Hugh Hefner party, so I'm on that level now. So I pick up the phone. Yo, I need some girls. Yo, we got some girls in Mexico, we got some girls in DR, and we got some girls that we know in Hollywood. Word? All right, give me the number. I call them up. How much y'all charge? I just want to give y'all enough money so y'all could do what y'all do for the rest of the night. See, this becomes prostitution now, right? They said, okay, no problem. And then I fly them out on my personal jet. Now, after you paid them and you flew them out to come to your parties, your LS parties, to do what they do so it can excite your party and do whatever, that is called human sex trafficking. Because he bought them. He didn't force them. He didn't drug them. Millionaires and billionaires don't have to do that. They got money. Shaq is a prime example. You read Superhead book? Superhead said Shaq was paying her $10,000 a month. He bought a condo and everything. $10,000 a month. You ever seen Superhead? She is not that pretty. I'm sorry. And she was getting 10 racks a month to have sex with Shaq. She put it in a book. And Shaq didn't deny it. So if Shaq can do that for $10,000, what do you think a multi-millionaire, billionaire could do? Well, Shaq is that too, a millionaire. But what you think a mansion full of millionaires and billionaires can do? What you think? Let Oprah call me and told me she got $20,000 for me. Fly me out. Me out. And you ain't gotta worry about no lawsuit, but everybody looking for come up. Everybody looking for money. That's why Diddy ain't got no criminal case, because they already got paid, man. The only thing y'all really got against Diddy is the damn video. Stop talking about baby oil, okay? There's no feds that's going to sit there and count 1,000 baby oils. They're looking for criminal evidence. Nobody's looking at baby oils. But you said, oh, because it's in a diamond 1,000 baby oils, they said it was drugs in there, then he should have a drug charge. He don't have a drug charge. Therefore, he's not being charged for drugs. He's being charged for human trafficking. What do you not understand? What? I'm just trying to make people understand these charges because you don't. You keep talking about what people saying. Oh, it's in the case. They got it in the course where he did that. You can make up stories and talk about you was on Pluto doing a moonwalk, and they have to read that out. Okay? Everything after that, you have to prove. Now, Cassie, she knew a lot. She knew a lot because he paid her $30 million less than 24 hours. So she knew a lot. And he probably had her doing things that, probably was questionable. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't want her talking about it. And he paid her. And she signed whatever she signed. That's why she ain't coming out saying nothing, because she can't. She got her $30 million. And they're saying the liquor company gave her money to start the whole thing. I don't know. I wasn't there. That's speculation. But I know she got $30 million. I know that much. You know what I mean? So she's good. Only one that we know for a fact that could come out and say something. Everybody else is quiet. You know why? Because everybody participated on whatever's being said for those parties. And when those parties happen, let me tell you something. As an owner of a swinger party in New York City, I've been to a lot. In every party, there's liquor there. In every party, there's drugs there. You go to a regular lounge, you go to a regular club, there's liquor there, and there's drugs there. So let's stop playing these games. All right? Let's stop. And if you're straight and you're not gay, and as a man, you shouldn't be worrying about what homosexuals is doing in the bedroom if you're straight. If you're having conversations about homosexual considering or kind of bi-curious or something, I have conversations. Now, one time you heard me up here talking about Puffy and some gay stuff, right? I don't care If he did that, why I'm having a conversation about it? I like coochie. You know what I'm saying? That's my conversation. So I don't know what y'all be talking about. Oh, they had another man moaning in the elevator. I watch these dudes on YouTube and I'll be like, yo, man, y'all gotta be out of your goddamn mind. Talking about that's what happened. Was you there? Nah, but they said, I know somebody that has a reliable source. So how about this? How about you shut up and let the reliable source talk? Because that's how they say you kill a rumor, right? The person that start the rumor, you bring them up first and say, you tell that person what you told me. That's how you kill a rumor. Right? They killed the rumor with the flash drives with the new book. You see, that disappeared. Soon as Kim back, I knew Kim for 30 years. We lived together and everything. I've been having her daughters for 10 years. Kim would have told me everything about a flash. When I brought the flash drives out, he was in the picture with Tupac. Like this in 96. I started dying. Yo, man, this is yo, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. I appreciate y'all. I know I'm holding y'all up. I'm ready to go now, man. I had a good time. I had a good talk. So we'll talk about Dr. Sebi tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the food and how it's killing us. And what I'm gonna be talking about is how to eat to live. I'm not talking about, yo, you gotta eat healthy. Don't get me wrong. That's part of my lecture too. But my main topic is how to eat to live. Why? They taught us how to dress. They taught us how to talk. They taught us how to, well, not walk, but they taught us sports. They taught us how to read. They taught us how to write. Nobody taught us how to eat to live. That's why everybody fat and dying with hypertension and diabetes and cancer. Oh, man. What y'all tell you about this food, man? It's going to scare you. And when you hear this, I kid you not, you're going to start looking in your refrigerator and your cupboards and your cabinets or whatever, and you're going to be just holding your head like, yo, this can't be real. Then you're going to start reading the back. Because you and I both know when we all go food shopping, nobody reads the back. We know what to put in our car. We know what to put in our motorcycle. We know what gas, we know what oil, we know everything. We even Google it. Well, what about this human car? Do you Google what kind of food you need? What kind of gas you need to put in this car? No, you don't. And that's why some of us is dying. Because we don't know. So with that being said, I want to say thank you for listening. Peace and blessings. Tell a friend, subscribe, tell a friend about this podcast. Ain't nothing but the truth. I'm going hard. I'm going to go hard every podcast. I'm going to go hard about the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be relating to us. It's going to be relating to white people. It's going to be relating to everybody that's based on the human value in this country. So with that being said, peace. Y'all take care. Later.